Hello, everybody. This is Eliz-Sha from wisdomseekers.net. And right now, my website's gone. It should be moved to a new host, Touchwood, soon, maybe. In the meantime, Facebook or Instagram, I believe you can get me there. This is my logo. You can message me. If you know me directly, message me directly. You don't have to do a reading. Just because you talk to me, I can tell you what's happening, give you the price list, etc., who's available, who's not. Right now I'm available. Well, not at this moment, but right now I'm available. Because a lot of my readers are, well, one's getting married, one's moving house, and the other's working quite a bit. And the other one's on a vacation. So we're doing pretty good. So I'm available. Having said that, and I did say down below is the information. I am going to do a very short interactive. I should be finished by 4:15 to 5 at the latest. I just want to say hello and maybe talk a little bit. I've been doing these dailies, and the dailies basically are saying that right now the energy is what it's been for months, pulling up old stuff, letting it go. Some groups are closer to it than other groups because they do the air, fire, water, earth series. But some groups are closer to it than others, and sometimes it wobbles. So like, for instance, 2 days ago, water was really hard. Today, water's really good. So, but tomorrow, the 15th, should be a semi-easy day for most people. Having said that, there's a lot of things that are happening in the energies, and we don't want to get too deeply involved in what's happening in the news, because right now it's very strange, very weird. I honestly never thought we'd get to a place that is dystopian. So when I read Orwell's 19 whatever, I thought, no, we never do that. We're too individualistic. No, we're not. Because fear creates strange bedfellows. So we're in a dystopian world at the moment. And part of that is so that we can wake up. And the more dystopian it gets, the more people are going, no, I'm not for this, and wake up. How they wake up, it's not everybody's going to turn out and become spiritual, but people are all going, not all people will wake up. At least 19% will not wake up. And that's okay. You know, if you followed Canon, Dolores Cannon, that could be because they're actually shadow people, not real people. And shadow people are people that fill in the energy, the background. They're background people. So that's okay if they don't wake up because they're not real anyhow. For those of us that are real, we are waking up. We are becoming aware, and we are going, I want a different life. And it's something that we need to choose for ourselves, what a different life looks like. And one of the things that the cards kept saying over and over again was, don't be in fear. Choose what you think is a very important visual, and go for it. Don't make yourself small. And that's what a lot of people do. They make themselves small. Hi, Queen. Just let me finish this thought and I'll be right with you. If you have a question, please feel free to ask. Don't make yourself small. If you stop and think about it, everyone is a part of, and I'm going to use this frame because this everybody knows it no matter what, as long as they speak English. Everyone is part of God or the Godhead. If we're part of the Godhead and the Godhead is omnipotent, omnipresent, omni whatever, and is perfect, how can we be anything less than perfect? We might have egos that overlie our perfection because it's a way of learning something new. But in our core, we're perfect. So if we're in our core perfect, assume you're perfect because that is in your core, that is your truth. That's your essential being. All right? So with your essentially in your core perfect, dream large, dream big, and visualize a future that you're happy with. Now, one of the things that I really like the cards saying, dream that you believe in magic. And I do believe in magic. I have seen magic work. I've seen good magic and I've seen not so great magic, but it works. And magic or psychic abilities or intuition is just, well, some of it has been studied by science and proved, but a lot of what we do has not been proved by science. Not yet. But that's the thing. It's not yet. In some levels, some planets, what we're doing, it's just baby steps. But it's grand baby steps. And it's what builds us to do more and better. People who come in autistic, and when my kids were born, there's 1 in 200. Now it's 1 in 50. And my family, we all are on the spectrum to some degree. That's why we have such pretty darn good gifts. Because my belief system is that people who are on the spectrum are the new wave of humanity. We don't vibrate at the level they do, because they think more quicker than we do. They're like far faster. We have a trouble communicating. Because we have trouble communicating, they have difficulty in expressing themselves, so they act out. Some of them, not all of them, of course. But as our vibrations become higher, they will understand us better, and there will be less differentiation between those people on the spectrum and those people off the spectrum. So a lot of things are happening right now that we have no comprehension of. And when you get the hangman in a reading, and you look behind it, you can see that there's a lot of motion, a lot of activity. And so that means simply be patient. We're willing to grow. We're willing to wait because things are happening we don't know about, which is good. We don't have to know everything in the world. If we did, our brains would explode, right? All we need to know is that which is important to us at the moment. And how do you do that? You let your mind go quiet. It's the roadrunner mind, the mousetrap mind, running around and around. Or I guess squirrel mind would be a better metaphor. That stops us from hearing the universe. Once you stop and listen and you hear it through the heart, you don't hear it through the mind, because the mind is a portal. The heart is a portal to the superconscious, subconscious. It's our connection with the universe. When you do that, you hear it from the heart. You can hear everything that you need to know when you need to know it. People ask me questions, and I won't know the answer, but I give them answers anyhow, and they're right answers. Why? Because I listen to what the universe tells me. And if I'm at a vibrational level that they can hear me, then we communicate well. If they're higher than me, they're not going to ask me, right? Vibrating faster than me, right? So that's all right. So Queen Empress, honestly, if you want to ask a question, I'm more than willing to answer. I will keep talking for a little bit longer, but if nobody comes on, I will stop talking shortly. Though I seem to be able to, I'm pretty verbose, honestly. So that is just, people want to know what the secret to learning is. That's the secret, calming the mind. And how do you calm the mind? Well, I call them hooks. When you get hooked by somebody, so we know in this life, a lot of us have been hooked by family. We're not our parents don't know how to love us correctly. They may love us, but they've not been trained to love us properly, so we feel undervalued, and we're always trying to prove to the families that we love them. Why don't you love me? And some are just narcissists, and they can't love, because a narcissist is emotionally 5 years old. So we're always trying to prove that we need to be loved by our parents, usually our parents, not always. And that's a hook. We can not disengage from them, because they are part of our family, they're part of our history. And some of them, yes, you do want to disengage from them. The narcissist, there's no need, there is absolutely no reason to keep them around, because it is my understanding that narcissists cannot learn, cannot go beyond that point of being a narcissist. And that possibly they are a shadow person. So, having said that, if we can disengage from needing their approval, and when they say things that are really dumb, and a lot of people say things that are really dumb, or people do, or think things that are really dumb, and we don't get hooked by it, that is our way of becoming authentic. We become authentically who we are. And what's authentic depends on who you are. I can go back and talk about hooks some more, actually. There's many forms of hooks. But becoming authentic is you get rid of the ego. The ego tells you, "Oh, that person hurt my feelings. I'm gonna prove them wrong." Well, if you want to prove them wrong, that's your ego. That's not your authentic self. When that happens, and I get that, "Oh, why are they saying that to me?" I go, "Would I do it regardless?" And if I say yes, then I'll continue to do what I'm doing. If I say no, I wouldn't do it, then I don't do it. And that's fine, because authentically, I'm going to follow the path that suits me best. And that is the most important thing in the world, is that you become authentic. That leads to enlightenment eventually, when it doesn't matter. It truly doesn't matter. So if you've got a hook, look at how it affects you. And if it affects you, then it's yours. If you're not affected by it, don't worry about it. And when they do something stupid, it just goes gone. I don't even notice it. And sometimes you notice it and you just giggle. Or sometimes you notice it because other people say, "Hey, they were really mean to you." And you go, "Oh, I kind of missed that." And it's fun. It's lots of fun. Okay, Queen Empress, I was wondering how well you see this deal with owners to use this building for my boutique will go, and if the business will do well. Okay, let's have a look. See, a boutique. What kind of boutique? That'd be kind of fun to know. Just because I'm curious, not because it'll make a difference. Okay, the owners to use this building. Okay. They are a little bit hesitant at them. They're not saying no. They're just wondering how much if it will if it will. They're wondering how good it is as a business deal for them, for you to allow you to use that building. If they knew for sure that your boutique would take off and do well, they would have no hesitations. It's not that they don't like you. It has nothing to do with that. It's strictly business. And they don't want to be bothered going through a lease break or things like that. So That's the only thing that's hindering them from allowing you to do it. If you can prove to them that the boutique is a very good idea and that people will come to you for it. And there's a few things to pay attention to for this building. Does it have a lot of walking traffic? If it has good walking traffic, then it's a plus for you. If it's someplace where you have to drive to, and it's a specific, they have to drive there for a specific reason, do they have good parking? These things are kind of important for you, for the boutique. Okay, and let me look at the business itself. So you're starting, women's clothing. Okay. What kind of women's clothing? I'm assuming it's rather unique clothing that you can't get in every other store. So that would be a big draw to people. And the first thing that came to mind was word of mouth, and which means, and I know this sounds very strange, but you know the coffee newspapers, the ones that go and sit in doctors' offices and things like that. If you had ads in these things, because word of mouth is really important, and it's the word of mouth. And if you could get people to wear it who have high visibility in your area, somebody that's well known, that would make a difference. I do see that it's, what I can see of it, it looks like really nice clothing. The quality is good. And I see a lot of grassroots, and I'm talking about you actually, pride and joy in it. And what else? But I do see starting it out, sharing your information with women. And it might be you want to go to women's meetings, women's clubs and things, and show and offer to do talks to them and show them the clothes that you have, the quality of the clothes, because people are interested in quality, and they want some, and many people want unique. I know I like my clothes to be unique, and that is, it's kind of, I feel that the chances are very good that if you put in the legwork, you're going to do well. It will not happen overnight. You will need to do it. 3 years basically is when it takes for a business to start to take off. And it's going to be a lot of work, but it's obviously a work of love. So yes, but don't be put off by having to do long hours for a few years. When it is, it will take off really quick, and you will have to hire a bunch of ladies to help you. But beyond that, congratulations. That's a really good idea. I think I would love to see pictures of what you have and things like that. So yes, I do believe if this place is not the place, that there is a place for you. That's just a business place. Your business itself is going to do well. Again, like I said, 3 years. Sorry about that. Okay, so Kayanat Bakari. Well, yes, you're right. She is masking something. Jav is, and if I remember correctly, she likes to play hot and cold. I do think she likes to play games. I think she likes to play games a lot. So when you get a little too confidence. She likes to pull the rug out from under your feet. I would just pull back for a little bit. Don't chase, but be open, be ready there. Be ready for when she goes, oh, this is boring, and starts talking to you. Be ready to talk to her again, and just go with the flow. But remember, she likes to play games. This is who she is. If you don't mind that, then stick with her. If it's something that bothers you, don't. And I think you've been with her long enough. You've played the energy with her for quite a while now. So I think you're pretty hooked. You just have to accept her for who she is. I'm sorry. And hey, Cowrie, how are you? I'm fine. I'm doing quite well, thank you. And what else? Well, let me go back to what I was talking about then, because we were talking about hooks and being authentic. And hooks, not completely. I can get my hand on top of my head, but I can't get my hand up higher without support. I'm quite pleased. I've got probably 50% of my mobility back. Cooking, it's kind of entertaining because some of the things I can do, and the other things Elle has to come and help me cook. So it takes a year, and I have about 10 months to go before it's completely healed up. But I am so much better than I have been before, which, if it does that, if I get a little better, I'm not going to complain too much. I did my own hair. First time. It's not as nice as Elle does it, but it's okay. Okay, Kayanat. How do you say that? Kayanat. We'll get closer. We have a special blonde. She's not always like this. She got long COVID, did she? Okay, the long COVID is making her feel insecure that she's not good enough, and that she's afraid it's going to last forever, and that she'll be a drain or a drag on you, and that you're not interested in having somebody who's partly healthy around. She gets tired very fast, I'm assuming, and part of it, she just went into herself because she's feeling like it's not worth it. She's losing. She's not depressed, but she might be sliding into it. What you can do if that's the case, show her that regardless of how she's behaving, when she wants to stay home and watch TV, that you're willing to stay home and watch TV, and that you don't have to go out and party or whatever you do. You don't have to be busy all the time, that you're quite willing to sit around and help her be just her. And if she doesn't want you to help her clean up her house because it makes her feel bad, say, yeah, I'm happy with you the way it is. Okay, and then when she's not around, you can clean up a little bit if you need to, because everybody likes a clean house, but just be with her at the level she can be at. Queen Empress, oh yeah, the rotary cuff, yes, it was. It was all the muscles came detached, but so last year, May Friday the 13th, I fell, broke my humerus and ripped my cuff and ripped my thumb here. Doctors didn't believe me when I said it wasn't right. So we farted around for months doing nothing because, well, you know, specialists, they, God incarnate. So I finally got them to believe it, and it took another 3 months to get my operation. So it was close to a year, the January, Friday the 13th, finally. The rotary cuff is what's giving me trouble. I have, that length of metal in there with about 13 screws. That part's okay. It's the rotary cuff that's going to heal or not heal. But thank you for asking. I'm okay with it. It was, how do you say this? It's frustration. Frustrating. Doctors look on the thing. Oh, she's 70 years old. Oh, well, she's handicapped. She can't think very straight. She knows nothing. And they'd start talking to my daughter instead of me. My daughter would kind of say, my mother can hear you. And we'd go with that. So I finally got it done. And I have one more operation to do on my thumb. Okay, I tried to say that I'm willing to help her, but then she gets a bit, that's what I'm saying. Don't help her. Just do it without, when she's not paying attention, but you're just making her feel like she's not capable of dealing, and she doesn't want you to feel bad for her. She doesn't want you to think that she's a handicap and she's a weight on you. That's so, just stay with her do what she wants to do, watch whatever TV show she likes and things like that. It's very difficult. It's just a small one. It's a day surgery, this one. I just spent a year basically being handicapped, and what Elle did, what I couldn't do. I said, don't do it. She didn't do it. But if I could do it, she let me do it. And so soon as my hand got a little better, I started doing the dishes, and that made me feel really good. Today, I chose to not cook a one pot dish. One pot dishes I can cook. I had to get her to help me because, well, it was too much weight for my hand to move things around. But I did what I could. So you allow her to do what she can. If she asks for help, then give it to her. When she's not asking for help, don't do it. It's very difficult being the handicapped one, the one that can't do anything. And I just accept things. I'm very good at, well, this is the way it is. I'm not going to get upset with it. So I just lived with it. And I was pretty good for pain too until towards the last month or two. And then I couldn't handle it anymore. And the doctor gave me painkillers. But I tried to just live. I tried to allow things to be without making a fuss about it. And maybe I should have made more of a fuss about it, but all the doctor basically said was, she thinks it's not healed. I think she's a little bit insane. But we heard him say that to somebody. But then the physiotherapist came in and looked at it and says, maybe you should look this over a bit more. And it turned out that I was right. But then I have a habit of being right. Let's see. Carol. Yeah, I would prefer it when my daughter does the reading, because Yeah, Carol Peachy, because I can see it, but my eyes take a bit of focusing because of cataracts. I don't have them anymore. I wasn't allowed into the hospital because I wouldn't have the jab. Heartbreaking. I know that makes no sense, does it? So if everybody's had the jab, why would they be afraid of somebody who hasn't had it, right? I did take it after after reading what's happening now. I'm not so sure that was the right idea. Her feelings are still there for you. It's just at the moment, Kayana, at the moment, unfortunately, she's wrapped up in herself and is having a hard time thinking outside and being able to. If she's got long COVID, from what I've read about it, it makes your brain foggy. It it does a lot. You're tired all the time. She's probably having a hard time just making it through the days and having somebody else there might, if you ask too much of her, she cannot handle it. She can barely handle dealing with her own stuff and her own emotions. So I don't think I don't think her feelings have shifted for you. They're just subsumed right now with her own feeling of being inadequate. And it is very tough. I haven't been able to drive for 3 years. I have my license, but I can't I'm not strong enough to turn the wheel. And before that, I couldn't see because I had needed cataract surgery. So yeah, if you can put yourself in her feet or in her shoes, so to speak, then you can understand better. It's very hard on people who are not healthy. They feel that they're a drain on others, and and they want to be treated with respect. And it's difficult to feel that you're being respected when you can't think as fast as the other person. So be there for them. You know, sometimes just phone her up and shove up and say, "Hey, I'm bringing over soup for supper." Well, and I don't know, maybe soup is a little hard to eat. I found it hard to eat. I keep getting potential fraud. People are hungry right now. There's so much lack of money in the world go around that they think there's to go around, that they're creating. Well, yesterday somebody phoned me and told me Amazon $720, and I thought, well, that's pretty exciting. I don't think so. So yeah, it's very difficult to be ill and not feeling good, and being on the edge of exhaustion all the time is very hard. Just don't ask her, tell her I'm coming over with soup for you, and I just share the evening together, and hey, I've got a really great movie to watch if you want to, because you can sit there and sleep through a movie. I know I've done it more than once. But yeah, that the brain fog, that's uh, yeah, I understand that, because if I don't get enough sleep, I get brain fog, and I use the wrong. I can't remember words and things like that. It's really frustrating. Just just know that who she is inside is still the same. And if I understand right, long COVID lasts from 6 weeks to 2 years. So I don't know beyond 2 years, honestly. I haven't done the research. I haven't read anything, but she should slowly start to get better. And just tell her that she's going to get better. Did I miss something from Queen Empress about her boutique?
I don't think so.
Okay. Just being there for her, that's the best. That's all. Don't expect anything from her. Don't just expect that she's going to. Yeah, of course she is. Nobody wants you to think that she's not feeling good. I didn't. I know I tried to have a brave face. Most of the time I succeeded, but sometimes I got really frustrated and really cranky, and I know when I get cranky because my dog gets really upset because he can't handle it. so so most of the time I succeeded in just being, but sometimes she's going to be sad. And tell her it's all right to be sad. It's part of the human condition.
And sometimes giving random hugs is always nice.
As my daughter says, random hugs are nice. Oh, well, hot and cold, and when she's cold, she's tired. Give her a hug. Physical contact is great for most people. And if she's a very high empath, warn her before you hug her. Hey, Jennifer.
Or like hug her and go, oh, by the way, I'm going to hug you now.
Yeah, that might be a best choice.
Not that you have options here. This is what's happened.
Yeah. And, okay. So I find, because I'm a very powerful empath, I don't like to be touched. So when somebody comes along, puts their hand on my shoulder, I'm okay with that. Then if you want to reach in and hug her, that's but hugs are wonderful. Or just sit on this couch and pull her into you. You guys are talking too fast.
Jennifer Schwab says, hello, do you see anything coming for me this month?
For the last 15 days? Basically what I see is the usual things. I don't have a big, oh my God, on the end of it. It just feels, like I say, sine wave, highs and lows, because that's how life it normally is. Tay, something may come up with Tay at the end of the month. I'm not sure. But mostly I see the sun shining on you, okay? Hopefully that stays that way for the next 15 days, Jennifer.
Carol says, pain will do that to you, sending love and strength.
That's good.
Kainat says she was really empathic. Haha, love that. I will. Queen says, no, Eliz-Sha, I thank you, and I will work hard for a good return. I believe in my guides guiding me and opening doors. Kaori Dragon asks, can you tell me if someone is attached to me or my children causing
so much fighting?
Fights?
Okay, yeah. Usually that's the case when there's a lot more fights than usual, because the negative entities live off negative feelings. Let me have a look, Kaori. You do. I'm sorry. If you need help getting rid of it, message me on Facebook. My page, I think it's below.
Everything related to Wisdom Seekers should be below.
Okay, and I might take a little while to find it because I'm obtuse when it comes to anything that's related to meta. Because they keep changing it, but I can help you, no problem. But basically, intention is powerful. And it's big. Whatever you do when you release it, absolutely zero fear, because fear is the only thing that it has control over. If you go in with fear, you messed up. But if you have zero fear and trust your guides, ask archangels if you need to. You should be able to clear it, and you want to clear each of your children individually. I recommend from the core out to the edge of their aura. Make sure their aura is tightened, clickable, and basically tell that thing to take a hike, or you're going to get rid of it. Okay.
No, Empress, or Queen. The website is shifting hosts.
We're hoping it's shifting hopes.
So at the moment it is still down.
Yeah.
Hopefully that will change sooner rather than later. We are still looking into we are also looking into other avenues of hosting and websites.
Yeah.
Tay says, or no, Bakari, Kayanat says thank you. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. It's our pleasure. We like doing this sort of thing. Yeah.
Excuse me. Tay says, hello, ladies. I've been stressed lately regarding all the vet stuff with Rin. Do my guides have a message for me?
It's still being pretty expensive, I take it, with Rin. And has it resolved itself? The Rin is fighting, energetically fighting. The cost, I don't know what to do about that. It's unfortunate that vets have to be so expensive. I would spend as much time as you can Googling naturopathic ways of dealing with things, especially for animals, because there's a lot of them out there, because very few people in the old days could afford vets, especially the way they are now. And they're saying, your guides are saying, you have a lot of healing ability. Use your hands on Rin. That should help. The fact that you love him should help. Fresh greens, and they showed me fresh green food, should help as long as he can eat it. And go look at the naturopathic ways of dealing with it. Okay. Yeah, no, it hasn't been working for over 2 weeks now.
And we are hoping to remedy it soon.
I can. I don't really want to do it on a live, because I recognize what it is. It's easy to get rid of. Just message me, okay? It's pretty strongly attached. I think it's been there for a while. A cowrie. It's arrogant, so I'd say it's been there for a while.
As of right now, there's nothing new.
Okay.
If you wanted to, we could probably start wrapping it up.
Yeah, I've been on a little longer than I thought was going to be, and I do enjoy visiting. I love talking and having not answering a lot of questions all at once, and just sitting and visiting. I love doing that.
Did you want me to?
Yeah, I would do as much as you can to Jennifer, as much as you can. I do. Before we ever even go to the vet, we always do home remedies first, because you're not going to get out of there under 150, right? Oh, he's got cancer. Okay, cancer is sugar. If you can take out all the carbs of his diet, and it's a metaphysical. Look up metaphysical how to deal with cancer. I don't know if you can do fasting with a rabbit, but you could maybe feed him one day and not the other. It's our alternate day fasting. I don't know if that would help, but if he's got cancer, cut out absolutely all the sugars, period. And we give our dogs pills that have baking soda, and we give our dogs apple cider vinegar that changes the pH balance. Oh, he doesn't have cancer. Oh, good. That would be pretty hard on a little body. But we use apple cider vinegar and baking soda, and that changes the pH balance. And they have done research for humans on baking soda and lemon juice. Look into making your own oils. I've been making my own oils recently. We just used olive oil and extra virgin, and get the echinacea leaves and put it into and leave it for like 40 days, and then just take away the echinacea plant and just give them the dropper. It'd be a lot cheaper than buying oil, right? And kefir, your rabbit should probably love kefir, which is a probiotic. So the more probiotics you can get, the better it is. Okay, well, vets are good for figuring things out, but the cost of the medicine is pretty intensive. Yeah, I do like alternative forms of medicine for my animals. It's kept my boy alive for about a year and a half beyond what his expiration date. He still drives us a little crazy, but he seems to be happy enough. All right. Good luck with that, Tay. And sorry about that. Everything costs so much now. It's very difficult. So namaste. Oh, that's good. I really like it. We use a painkiller. What's it called?
Recovery.
We use recovery, and it tastes really good. Actually, I think it has blueberries and this and that in it, so it tastes really good. So recovery might be something that we buy it in powder form and put it into capsules for our dogs. But the rabbit, you probably sprinkle it on his food and he'd be happy. Just use your hands, so Tay, because you have a lot of healing power in there. And I'll tell you something, your guides just said that they're trying to get you to do more healing, and that's part of the problem with Rin. Okay, so get out there and heal. Namaste, namasko. And I love you, and I love you too. Bye.